Feeling a little art craft crazy? Hi, I'm Donna from Art Craft Crazy, and I have figured out an easier way to do the dot grid on a full page. The last video I done was showing you how to use OpenOffice, and I used the drawing part of the app. This time I'm going to show you how to use it a different way using the document side. Now here's an insert for a traveller's notebook that I made. This has got the dot grid on it, but I printed it out in a very light grey. So it's perfect for making traveller's notebook inserts. I made a couple of notepads out of the full sheets, and I also done this coffee dye sheet. So start off by downloading OpenOffice. It's a free app. So do a Google search for OpenOffice download and get it from the genuine Apache OpenOffice official download. Just click on that and then just go to the download the full installation button. And once you've downloaded it, it's pretty well ready to use. So you open the app, and this time we'll use the text document. It is an easier process than the last video I made. This is what the page looks like when you open the app. Now over on the right hand side is the properties menu. We'll go back to that in a minute. Now firstly, you need to go up to the top menu bar, find format, click on that and scroll down to page and select page. Now in Australia we use A4, but if you use letter, just drop this down and select letter. I'll be using A4, and we stay in portrait, and I'm going to change the margins to 0.50, all of them, left, right, top and bottom. Staying in portrait and click OK. You see how the borders are much smaller on the page? Now we'll set up the dot grid size. Go over to the right hand side in the properties and select size 11. 11 point is what you want. So this is the size of the font. Now this is the alignment. We'll use that later. You need to go to this icon here, which is the character spacing. So when you find that, just click that little arrow so you get the drop down menu. Leave it on normal and scroll down to the character spacing where it says default. Drop that menu down again and change that to expanded. Now you need to change that by 11 points. So that's got to match your font size. So that's what gives you your dot grid square. 11 at the top and 11 at the bottom. They need to match. Now you can change the color of the font here. So go to the font color icon, click that down and change it by about 50%. If you want it really light, if you want your dots very light, go lighter. And now we'll start putting the dots on the page. Go up to the very left hand corner of the top of your page and start pressing your full stop button or your period button on your keyboard. Now when you first start doing this, see these three tiny little dots close together? You need to back them out. You need to delete them. So put your mouse cursor, left mouse click, right in front of that, the last of the three little ones, and backspace. Now go back to your last dot there and keep going. Just keep pressing that full stop button on your keyboard, and you can go all the way down the bottom of the page if you like, this way, or you can stop when you get to an area and copy and paste what you've just done. So we'll stop here. So you left mouse at the end of that last dot that you've created, and you drag and highlight all of that area right up to the start. Right mouse click, copy, then put your mouse left click right at the last dot, right mouse click and paste. So it's just copy and paste. Now it's just left mouse click and paste. Left mouse click and paste. Do it again, left mouse click and paste. Now see how it's gone one row too many and it's gone onto the second page? You don't want that. We want to get rid of that second page. So just put your left mouse at that last dot and back that out. So use your backspace on your keyboard until you get up onto the first page and then stop. Now that's your page filled of the dot grid. We're going to center the grid. You only need to do this if it's not centered. This is fairly well centered. So you just highlight the whole page, go over to the right hand property side and use your paragraph properties here and just center it. I'll show you here there's not a lot of difference between the left justified and the center justified. You only need to do this if it's like crazy over to the left. So it's always good to pop it in the middle and it just looks more centered. So we're ready to print. Go up to the file on the menu bar and scroll down and print. Now if you're going to tea dye or coffee dye your paper, make sure you use a laser printer to do this. If you use your inkjet, it'll bleed. Now I'll show you how to do the borderless printing if you want to take your dot grid all the way to the edge of the paper. So the way I've just showed you, see how it's got a border around the edge? Because at the beginning we made it 0.50. So go back up to the menu, click Format, scroll down, select Page, and go back in and set all your margins to 0. Now you'll get an error message to say that your margins are set outside the print range. Do you still want to apply these settings? Just say yes and move on. Right, now see how your dots now are all the way to the edge of the page, but because it's now become wider, the dots are shorter. So just put your left mouse at the last dot and keep on pressing your full stop button until you go to the bottom row and fill in your whole page again. Now your page is borderless. Now this will only work if your printer prints borderless. There's no point doing this if you've got a printer that doesn't print all the way to the edge. Go up to File and select your printer and make sure your settings are set to borderless printing. I hope you found this an easier way to set up your dot grid printing. I'm Donna from Artcraft Crazy. Thanks for watching and bye for now.